Someone asked about this question. This is number 2 from our discussion week 8. Specifically what they wanted to ask about was the direction of the magnetic field from current carrying wires. And so let's go ahead and discuss this. So the sort of view we have right here, so we got two kinds of wires. There's this one where the current is coming out at you, and there's this one where the current is going into the page. And so we know that that in this case here, the current will go in circles, and it's basically going to be either clockwise or counterclockwise. And so this is my, to figure out this direction, I would use what I've been calling curly rule number 1. And so here, my thumb will go with the current, and then my fingers will curl the way the magnetic field goes. And so for this top one over here, right, so you have your thumb pointing out at you, and when you do that, my fingers curl in the direction counter to what a clock would, and so counterclockwise. So they look something kind of like that there. In the other case, it's going to be the opposite. In the other case, my thumb is going into the screen, and in that case, my fingers curl in a clockwise fashion, like this right here. Okay, and so the kind of thing is, you got the right hand rule, but you could also even just sort of say that when it's coming out in a picture like this, it's counterclockwise, and when it's going in, it's clockwise. It's sort of up to you. Now, what will happen a lot, and now this is sort of bad because my circles are really poor. But basically what they might do is they might say, well, hey, Andrew, what's the direction of the B field right at this point? And so we talked about this in active time. The direction of the B field, and maybe I'll just change the color just to be fancy, is always tangent to the B field lines. And so it should be right here like that. So at that point there, that's the way the B field would point. Now in a case like this, what you can do, what I like to do is I like to just connect a line. So I'll connect a line from the wire that we're talking about to the point that we're talking about. And the thing is the B field always has to be 90 degrees to that line because it's a circle, right? And so this line is essentially the radius of the point where I decided to do this. And so that's the sort of way we do it. So like if you wanted to find which way the B field pointed here, I would draw a straight line from there to there, and then the B field, of course that was really bad, but it would be basically something along in this direction over here. Sort of a hard one to draw with my tablet. But that's the idea. So we look here, and again, this has the sort of general trend of clockwise. That's counterclockwise. So as we usually do, let's just go through and mark these. So I won't deal with the actual magnitudes. The solutions do that, and so you can go through and work through this. But so for instance, this is one going into the page, so that would have a tendency to be clockwise. So then if I connect this line here, which is again, these are sort of hard to draw, but that would be roughly our line. Then what would happen from number 1 is this would have a clockwise tendency, and so my magnetic field would be pointing this way here. And so that's the magnetic field from 1. Because again, the one going into the page is like this example where the sort of general trend is to be clockwise. And so again, I make this right angle here and do that like so. And let's maybe then for this one, we'll use a green line. And so for this guy, number 2, right, again, the magnetic field is going into the page, so it's going to have this sort of general clockwise fashion. And so at that point, the magnetic field from 2, I would have going something kind of like that there. And then let's sort of just keep changing colors so it just makes more sense. So for I'll do number 4 next, right over here. And so this one is going to have a counterclockwise feel. And so for this one, it'll end up being in the exact same direction as B1, and that's the B from 4. And I'm kind of running out of colors. Let's see what's another kind of good one. Let's try purple. And so here, so this is going to be tough. So this is my radius. And again, this is going to have a general trend of being counterclockwise, which will end up being pointing in this direction here. So we got, again, this is the B4, B1, B2, and B3. So hopefully this helps. If not, let me know and I can try another attempt. Thanks.